going on? Happy New Year, everybody. Brendan here, Dad Planet. I hope 2021 went well, and I hope you started 2022 on the right foot. I'm bringing you another What Sold on eBay video. This one covers December 15th through the 21st. It's 15 items that I sold that week for a high dollar amount, low cost of goods, generally speaking. And of those items, we're gonna take a look at an item that was kind of destroyed that I still sold for over $100. We'll take a look at a summertime item that I had never heard of before I sourced it. And then we're gonna take a look at every reseller's worst nightmare come true. Stay tuned. All right, for the 15th through the 21st, 2,900 in gross sales, 1,900 in net. My selling cost a little bit lower at $27.7, not too bad. And my average sales price, very, very high, almost $80. All of this, however, is very deceiving, as you will see as we get through the video. So let's get into the bolos. All right, so this first one is a set of Hartman Luggage. Now, the tweed Hartman Luggage, that will sell better than the nylon. This is a nylon style. And then the beige and the brown items will sell usually a little bit better than the black variations. So I've actually sold both of these luggage pieces in the beige tan color. I sold that set for $199. I took an offer on this for $139.99, but I only paid around $6 or $7 for both of them. They were stacked inside of each other. I made sure that the person at the counter at Goodwill knew that, but I wasn't charged for both. I was just charged one single price for both pieces. So that was a great sale. Hartman Luggage is like a go-to bolo brand, so definitely look for it. But if you had to prioritize Hartman, look for tweed first, followed by the beige and the tan color, and then black. But all of them will usually sell well. It's just a difference in price at the end of the day. So that's a great sale. The buyer was $185.92 all in, and again, $7 for me all day long. Okay, now the next one, you know, we're not gonna break the bank with a $15 t-shirt sale, but Max and Irma's at one point was a thriving franchise, thriving restaurant franchise. They're headquartered here in Columbus, Ohio. So there used to be a ton of locations, but now I think even just in Ohio, there are only 6. But you guys hear me say, like, get to know your local market a little bit and try to familiarize yourself with what's going on, because you'll make lots of sales, even nationally, with things about your market that are unique. So Max and Irma's, unique to Columbus, Ohio. But what I would tell you is, because so many locations have closed down, this is kind of a dying franchise. If you source it nationally, I think you're still going to do well, because there's just so few items on eBay related to Max and Irma's brand in general. So this was listed, I think, for $20, and I took an offer for $15. It's a very basic Max and Irma's limited edition, who knows what t-shirt. White, double-sided, $15. The buyer is $20.37 all in. And I found this at the Goodwill bins. So this probably cost me maybe 70 cents because the bins charge by the pound, and it was a very lightweight shirt. So for everybody that watches me, even the people outside of Ohio, look for Max and Irma's apparel. Look for Max and Irma's mugs. Every now and then you might see like beer taps that were specific to that brand, but source it nationally, because you'll do well. This is a very underrepresented brand on eBay, and just not a lot of it to go around, so it'll sell well. All right, so Pizzelle makers sell well, and you know, you'll see that I sold this for $100. In fact, the buyer is $120.52 all in. It only cost me $5.99, but my pricing for this one was not aggressive. I was at the top of the market. When I put the comparables up on the screen, you'll notice that they sell in maybe around the 60 to 80 range, a little bit better. I was at 100, so it took me a while to sell, but I did eventually sell it, and I'm happy to get full price for it. So Villaware Prima Pizzelle maker, it was in fantastic condition inside and out. Marked it pre-owned. I mean, it really did look like if it was used, it was only used one time. But this specific style, 5000-NS, this is a bolo item to keep your eye out for. So I think you would probably sell it a little bit quicker in the $60 to $80 range. It just depends on how you run your business and how soon you need your inventory to turn over. I am a grow your inventory seller, so I'm okay pricing a lot of my items on the higher side. Not all of them. I'm very aggressive in certain aspects, and then I'm like really kind of like middle of the pack with a lot of my inventory as well. But I am not afraid to price high and wait for certain items. So this one just fell into that category for no other reason than I thought I could get $100 for it, because Pizzelle seemed to sell well and this one sold. So what can I tell you? This was a nice sale too. All right, I found this pair of shoes at the Goodwill bins, so let's call it around $2. I mean, they may maybe like £1.50. So $1.59, let's round up to $2 and call it a day. New Balance 998. This is the Explore by the Sea version. Now, there are not a ton of pre-owned sales for this shoe, but it's sort of like a hyped brand or like a hype beast variation of a New Balance shoe. So new, they're selling and listed in the $200 range. And I got 80 bucks for these. Now, I'll put a picture of the soles up on the screen for you. They had a little bit of wear, but I still got full price for them. In fact, this style had, I think, over 20 watchers before it sold. So definitely keep your eye out for it. The gray and navy style, Explore by the Sea. And the buyer is $98.27 all in after shipping and tax. $2. Awesome sale, great return on investment. Keep your eye out for it. A lot of New Balance 900 style shoes, especially the ones that are made in the USA, those are bolos, so keep your eye out for them, this one especially. Okay, so for those of you that have been following me, you'll notice that a week or two ago, I sold a aluminum pom-pom tree for $600. Now, I spent $260 on the entire lot. It came with the tree and the 2 color wheels. Let's add it up and say I sold everything for $750, $740, $750, $760, somewhere around there, and paid $260 for the lot. I paid $200 for this beautiful tree here. So this is a Sapphire Regal aluminum pom-pom tree. It went about 6 feet. It had 100 branches, and what I've learned is when you're selling aluminum trees, the amount of branches matter relative to the price that you can command. So this one had 100 branches. It was in wonderful condition, and I got full price for it. $500, and the buyer is $561.77 all in. Again, I paid $200 for this one, and that's where the good news ends. So every worst nightmare for a reseller. I got wonderful positive feedback on the $600 tree that I sold, and I got a return request for this one. And this thing came back to me. Not only did it come back to me, a $500 return, I'm going to inspect the return live right here, right now with you guys. Let's see how this thing looks as it was returned to me. All right, here's the moment of truth. I'm gonna take this inside. It is still sealed. I just picked this return up from UPS. I am scared to open this box to see what it looks like on the inside, but this is the box that I shipped it in. So let's take it inside and see what happened. Wish me luck. All right, now I'm gonna pick this up here. I'm actually looking at this and it does not look terrible. These are really delicate, you know, so sometimes the older ones, like, I mean, they're all old. This is from the 50s or 60s, so they have a tendency to flake off. These, however, look like they're okay. This looks okay. I'm not so displeased with this. So they packed it as good as they could. Kind of looks like I left it. I packed it a little bit better than this, but you know what? We'll relist it. Maybe it will sell in January. You never know. But as it stands, it's one of those things you got to deal with as a reseller. But this looks fine. This does not look like it's fine. So, you know, I'll have to inspect it a little bit further. As you can see, a lot of these like missing right here. Like, this is definitely not how I sent it. So maybe I'll inspect it a little bit further piece by piece, but it is what it is. Deep breaths after that one. What can I say? Okay, so anime, in my opinion, and just based on the amount of like research and sourcing that I've been doing of this style, seems to have some sort of a resurgence going on, and not just with the younger kids, but even I think with older adults. Anime seems to be making, I don't want to say a comeback because I don't know enough about the genre to really make sort of an informed, educated decision, but just based on my experience sourcing, anime seems to be doing better than it has since, you know, I started sourcing it. So this is Fooly Cooly. It's a complete original series 3 DVD set. Now I paid $1.99 for both of them, so, or for all 3 of them, sorry. So $6 in, and you know, I took a quick 30 bucks on this, and it was like a good sale to me. And one of those things where I was sourcing it going, comps look okay, but I think I'm gonna give it a shot because, you know, anime is seeing some sort of a resurgence in my brain. So I took a full price offer for this one, and the buyer is $36.95 all in. I encourage everybody to, even obscure manga, I'm not sure how you pronounce manga. I should ask my oldest daughter. She's like really into it right now. So that does help actually when I'm outsourcing, because, I have a second set of eyes to say, hey, this might be worth looking at. But as far as this being appropriate for 11-year-old girls, I don't really know. This might be an adult only thing. I didn't look into it too much. I just read data and did my thing. But keep your eye out for Fooly Cooly, especially in DVD lots, because the comparables will tell you that the same thing that happened to me will happen to you. It's likely to sell well if it's priced right, so keep your eye out for it. Okay, now this is one of those items that, it's not, I'm not going to break the bank at $21.24. I found this at the bins, so if it was 15 cents, it's probably like, 10 cents too much. The thing barely weighed anything. It's a Five Nights at Freddy's Mystery Mini Rockstar Chica figure, but it's the glow-in-the-dark variant. Now, I was the only one that had this listed on the internet, so where I sold it for $21.24, it's likely that I could have asked for $41.24 and it may have sold within the same time frame. So this is one of those things where you can kind of create your own market. Five Nights at Freddy's right now just had a brand new game released, and there's again a resurgence for that brand specifically. A lot of McFarlane stuff from Five Nights at Freddy's seems like it was a little bit underproduced, so there's a market for that, right? The demand is still high, but the supply is low. Keep your eye out for all Five Nights at Freddy's items, the books, the action figures, the Lego-looking Lego sets. All of that stuff has a really high value right now because the supply was very, very low. So keep your eye out for that brand and this little figure in particular. Okay, I'm happy with this sale here. So this is Giorgio Armani, I don't know how to pronounce it, C Passion, and I took an offer I'm happy I received. So $46.74 was what I got for it. $54.66 is what the buyer is all in. I bought this at a garage sale for $5. Took a little bit of time to sell, but the list to sell ratio really isn't that great. There's like a lot listed and not a lot sold. So me getting 47 for this brand new in the package, I'm ecstatic. Like, I'm happy to see it go because it could have very well sat much longer than it did. So I'm happy to see this go. Again, if it's a couple bucks, it's definitely a bolo. If someone's going to ask you to pay $20 for this at a garage sale or an estate sale, you have to make a decision that's best for you and your business. So could still be a bolo at those prices, but I would probably pass if it were me. I paid $5, made a great sale. So, keep your eye out for this one as well. Okay, I know a lot of you don't like shipping large items, and that's okay. Some items, though, are just best separated into parts. This is a really good example of a vacuum cleaner that does really well when you part it out. And when I say really well, I mean it will still sell fast. I know when you start parting things out, sometimes it takes a lot longer to sell all of the pieces together when you add it up cumulatively. This one, however, is not the case. So this is an Electrolux Harmony canister type vacuum. EL6985 is the model number. It worked fantastic. I did not do video on this, and I was like holding my breath whenever I don't do video on something. Like, sometimes people try to get sneaky and say that item doesn't work or whatever, and maybe swap something out. I'm just saying sometimes those things happen, but I didn't take video even though it worked. The buyer has already left me positive feedback, so everybody's happy here. But I have also sold the rug attachment piece for $35 that came with it. The comps for both of those will be on the screen here. But this is really easy to ship. It's not too heavy. It only cost me $10, and I got full price for it at $69.99. So the buyer is $95.52 all in after shipping and tax, and that's a great return on $10, especially since I have one part left to sell, and I've already done over $100 in sales for this thing. So great sale. Keep your eye out for it. Don't be afraid to part it out. It will still sell quickly. All right, this item was new to me. Now, I like grilling. It's not that I don't go outside in the summertime and whip the grill out. Like, we do those things. But I have never heard of a grill bot before, so this was sort of interesting. Now, on this one, I did put video in the description showing that the item worked, or at least the brushes were rotating properly and as they should. I didn't put it on an actual grill. But it's a grill bot. You hit a button, charge the thing, and it's supposed to clean your grill for you without you having to do anything, which, sounds kind of awesome. And the list to sell ratio for this brand is awesome. So keep your eye out for it. I got full price for this one. It is the black version. I think there are other colors of the grill bot, but black sells really well. And I got full price, $75. and the buyer is $94.55 all in after shipping and tax. I paid $9.99 for this at a Goodwill about 45 minutes from my house. Excellent sale. I learned about it like in the store when I picked it up for the first time. Maybe this is the first time you've seen it as well. So keep your eye out for it. They sell for a very high dollar amount, and they look very unassuming in the package in the store, so they might be underpriced. I found this jacket at a garage sale. I don't know too much about NASCAR. I'm not a huge NASCAR fan. I respect it as a sport, but I'm just not into it. So this is a Chevy racing jacket, and there were definitely comparables for this exact style jacket. I had an XL, which was nice, and I did pay up for it at a garage sale. So I paid $20 for this, and I eventually took an offer of $55. It sat for a little while, which is surprising to me because it was an XL, so I figured it would sell a little bit faster than I sold it for, but I am happy with $55. I'm happy to see it go. One less thing taking up space in my basement, and the buyer is $74.80 all in. So if you see this exact style, I will put comparables on the screen, of course, for you. Source it at a good price because it will eventually sell. Just for me, seemed to take a little bit longer than normal, and I don't have an explanation for that other than maybe it's because my listings get suppressed a little bit more because I charge shipping. Maybe, who knows? Not going to assume. It's sold, it's gone, I'm happy. Hopefully the buyer is happy as well. So keep your eye out for this one too. All right, I loved this jacket. I mean, if they made this for men, this is like something that I would consider wearing too, maybe they do. So it's a Land's End Squall, obviously full-length hooded parka for women, color purple, 2X, 20W to 22W, and this is a very, very consistent $50 to $55 to $60 bill if you find them and they're in good condition. So I got full price for mine, $50, and I'm gonna say it sold within 72 hours. So fast sale here, and the buyer is $62.74 all in after shipping and tax. I think this cost me around $7 or $8. I don't remember what I was charged at the store, but jackets in these locations are usually around $7, $7 or $8. So I'm pretty sure that that's where it fell price-wise. Doesn't really matter what color. I think the purple was a nice color, but they sell again consistently between $50 and $60. So keep your eye out for this jacket, especially this time of year, selling fast. Okay, this is another bolo style to be on the lookout for. So Sorel, they sell very, very well in the fall and in the winter, right? Primarily boots. This is a up to the ankle style boot for women. It's called the Out and About, and there are not a ton, if any at all, in pre-owned condition listed currently right now on eBay. So this was a great fast sale for me as well. So I took a full price offer of $40, and the buyer is $52.53 all in. These cost me $4.39 at a Goodwill. And again, the list to sell ratio is phenomenal. Not many listed, but a lot sold. New, you're gonna see them sell for around $100. Pre-owned in the condition that I had them in, which was pretty good. I think $40 to $50 is fair, and they will sell quickly because we are in winter time. So keep your eye out for the Out and About Sorel, great style, obviously a great brand, and should sell quickly. This is another one that caught my eye because of the Southwestern Aztec sort of feel that it had to it. So it's an Eddie Bauer cardigan, naturally, and I did see some of these exact comparables, like the exact style, in my listings when I was doing comps research when I sourced the item. But anything Eddie Bauer, like Aztec, if you use that as a keyword, or Eddie Bauer Southwestern, is worth taking a double take because it looks as though there's between $25 and $50 easily, depending on the style, depending on the colorway. This had a bright, fun colorway to it, very, very Southwestern. And I took an offer of $36, which I was happy to take. So the buyer is $50.71 all in after shipping and tax. It was a size small, yeah, and 100% wool. And I paid $4.99 for this it was probably a Goodwill. It could have been a Volunteers of America. I don't remember exactly, but great sale nonetheless. Probably should, easily catch your eye if it's hanging on a rack in a store. So keep your eye out for it. But Eddie Bauer Aztec, it doesn't have to be this exact style. Make sure you look it up when you see it because you might have a bolo on your hands. All right, now, last one. So if you take a look at this shoe closely, you can very clearly see that it is like the paint, the paint job, the exterior paint job, chipping away, flaking away pretty badly. I'm going to show you another picture of these in a second. But for wrestlers and for wrestling shoe collectors, of which there is a market, this is a holy grail of sorts. So this is the Asics Gel Assault, and not only is this style a grail, the colorway is also a grail. I was lucky enough to find this in a size 12, which if you're using it for performance, is a pretty good size for this style wrestling shoe. There were good comparable sales data, not just on eBay, but other marketplaces when I was doing my research, that led me to believe that even with the flaking away, this was worth picking up. So I had them listed for $150, and I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, if I waited long enough, someone would have paid $150 for this pair of shoes. But I did take an offer for a guy that I don't know, but I've seen his wrestling shoes here locally. He ended up buying them, so they stayed in Columbus, which was an interesting observation. But $138.46 is what he is in, all in, after shipping and tax. I found these at the bins, and 100% they sat in those bins because they looked like they were destroyed. But again, having done the research in store and kind of knowing that this was okay by the people that really coveted this shoe, I knew to pick them up. So $2 for me, $120 later. You've seen the pictures of the back. They looked like they were in rough condition, but it really was not the case. So probably very heavily looked over when they were in the bins, and I scooped them up because I know, just look up every wrestling shoe. And that's what I tell you folks too. Look every wrestling shoe up, because you just never know. And even in this condition, $120, I'm totally happy with that. So a great week of sales, aside from the nightmare that we all are going to inevitably experience as resellers at some point in our business. But you know what? Water off a duck's back, you just move on. 15 more bolos. I hope you enjoyed those. Let me know in the comments though, do you have a nightmare return story? I'd like to know about it. I will probably survive this one, but hey, a $500 hit is a big hit nonetheless. So hopefully it's in okay condition when I put it back together, but you guys saw it. So that's all I have for you today. 15 more bolos in the books. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And then of course, leave a like if you liked what you saw or you learned something, and consider becoming a member of the Dad Planet family by subscribing if you are not already a subscriber. But that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video.